Wrexham's fabulous footy flashbacks. Your team's finest moments on video. Flashback to glory. Flashback to heroes. Flashback to the great history-making quarters and legendary highlights from Collingwood.
He's looking from the Kennedy field. Beautiful bit of football.
As Collingwood go forward towards scenario rocker.
It's a chance though. Brerett's back on.
He wastes no time from 60 metres. It's a sensational goal.
Geelong.
Jarrett gives it back to Goggin. Here's some beautiful football. A lovely hand pass across to Yates. Yates shot passes into the goal square. Wooler will play on. A goal to the cap and the best piece of footy of the day.
I think Dunkley's back on there. Oh, Ambler grabbing. Ambler! Oh, yes!
West Coast.
Eagles going forward. Oh, is that Gaston? Yes, it is. And what a great mark.
Can go short, mate. Wearing on his own on centre wing. He's got plenty of time to assess the situation and wait that kick magnificently for Lewis.
Essendon.
Out of Terry Danaher. Oh, round the neck again. At least Buckley stopped him. This could be the dress rehearsal for the grand final of 1981 as Neil Danaher comes in for the kick but could possibly win the game. And he's put it to the balance of it to front.
Adelaide.
Holds him up, robs him on, but cleverly. Still Alvins again to the Wiedemann. Wiedemann short to Smart to Jarman. They'll love this. Motra comes in to the goal square. Jarman kicks it to him beautifully. Wonderfully. 11 goals to Motra.
Melbourne.
Further forward.
Play on. Runs up towards centre half forward. They're trying the short passes, the Demons. Chance for Spalding. At the back, Jackson. Off it goes to Williams. Over the top. Lovell punch the goal and puts it through.
Carlton.
Goes up towards Kernahan. Wonderful use of the body. Goes to Bradley. Then does the shepherding. Bradley's got pace and dash. He goes over the middle. Out towards Kernahan on the half volley. This could result in a goal to Angelo.
St Kilda.
Has found Kevin Roberts. Roberts drives it back towards the centre half forward position. Rowland and Callan and Rowland at the back.
Tony Lockett has 6 goals, 6. Daniels puts it up towards the goal square. Lockett close!
Wrexham's fabulous footy flashbacks.
Welcome Adelaide fans to fabulous footy flashbacks. And the Crows have only been in the competition 7 years, but they've certainly made their mark in more ways than one. We're going to have a look at 3 of their greatest wins. The first is their first at Football Park. Round 1, 1991. They take on Hawthorn before a capacity crowd. And this was Adelaide in the competition for the first time.
Ben Allen has gone to pick up Eddie Hocking on the back line for Hawthorn.
So here we go, the final quarter. And the Adelaide Crows will want to work on percentage. The Hawks hoping to regain some pride. A line ball to centre wing at Morrissey. Flicking it out quickly. Robran on to Platten. He's got to give a little ground to make some. Goes to half forward and Warhurst comes out strongly.
Yes, and Brereton was left flat-footed.
He goes out wide. They're just running and running. It's like the Hawthorn we've come to know. Lee goes to centre wing. Clue goes to half forward. Marshall gets in front the weight down. He doesn't have to. Smith's just too good. May get caught here. No. Gets around and pokes it in towards the pocket. Ledner is there. Can't take the mark. Allen is there and so too Morrison. Kennedy. John Kennedy has a look over his shoulder nonchalantly.
50-metre penalty, Sandy.
And picks up the ball to take advantage of that penalty. Brings him down to centre wing.
There was just no movement at all on that Hawthorn forward line. Morris is now creating an option.
Kennedy kicks inside 50 going towards Morrison. And that is why he's called the freak, because he has the ability to do things like that. And it's a pretty good-looking shot at goal. It's through. A faint ripple of applause for James Morrissey's first goal.
very, very faint. All I heard was boo. So when you score a goal over here, it's obviously a boo. And Morrissey, as I mentioned in this lead-up, was the only fellow to cause any movement. He ran across that half-forward line. The ball went to him. If you create some movement, the ball always seems to go to that particular player. That was a good passage of play by Morrissey because he was the only one who tried.
The confidence is way down Hawthorn, and these people, the Adelaide Crows, are sky high. Negri gets the tap out. Jarman brilliantly, as usual. Kick directly towards goal. McGuinness taps it away. Hocking. Handball. Intercepted by Hudson. Getting back there is Ben Allen. But the free kick against the Crows will go to the Hawthorn player in the back pocket.
And Rotherham's hurt in the centre of the ground. I think he may have twisted his ankle when he contested that last bounce down. He's going to be carried off the ground.
Ben Allen's kick high towards centre half back. At the back, Langford intelligently tries to get it to Anderson. Anderson collects it nicely. Handball to Jenke. Jenke's kick out in front. Darren Jarman rather punched away there by Thompson. And there's Robran. Well, let's hope that's not too serious. But he's limping badly with the aid of the trainers. A right ankle by the look of it, and he will be replaced by Lawrence. Paul Deere doing the ruck work. He's missed out in the height stakes. Most emphatically has Paul Deere. Morrissey's kick. But in that ruck contest, the free kick is against Paul Deere, and it will go back there to Lindsay.
Holding.
No, it won't. It'll go to Negri. There's Matthew Robran being assisted to the interchange bench. McDermott. Oh, down he goes. Oh, there'll be a fight on here. Negri's in quickly. McDermott's hurt. That was terrible stuff there by the two Hawthorn players, and McDermott has not moved. Chris McDermott, the captain, has not moved. Play should be held up. It's not. It's going on in the forward pocket. Hart fighting hard for the ball. And now it goes over. And surely the umpires will have to stop play because McDermott has remained absolutely still after that crunch. His head moving. Trainers holding him back. Play goes on, thump back over the boundary line, and we'll have another throw in as the runner goes to the umpire to signal that there is something serious happened to Chris McDermott back at centre half back for Hawthorn. The stretcher is out.
Now, why is Peter Cameron going up there?
He's a courageous man, this fellow.
I think he's going to report Brereton. I think also Hayden Kennedy is doing exactly the same. Going down to Brereton.
Well, now I ask the question, if that was the case, why did play go on? And now why do they report the play?
Because of the advantage. The ball went down the ground and the advantage was being paid.
Well, okay, one umpire takes care of the game, where the ball is. Why didn't the other umpire do the reporting on the spot? That's what we've got two umpires for.
Well, he's been reported. They don't have to report them on the spot. They can report them or let the club know after the game, actually.
Yes, and maybe the seriousness of this man who's being helped off the ground on the stretcher. Well, he's conscious, or is he? He doesn't look too good, does he?
I think he's conscious, which is good news, but he's as tough as nails.
He looked at one stage, Sandy, as though he really wanted to carry on. The trainers certainly, and he's not going, well, I guess on the stretcher you can still come back if you do recover, but I don't think they need him now anyway.
He hasn't gone through interchange anyway, so he won't be coming back on.
Well, he's conscious, but I'm sure he'll sleep well tonight.
Well, this will be the interesting 21 minutes left.
So a fight behind play now with McGuinness and Lidner. And the umpires want to take stock of this situation very quickly, otherwise something nasty could develop. Marshall takes it from Lindsay. A high kick in towards full forward. And
that's the Tiggy touch line. Tiggy touch wood
to split it up.
Yeah, just to split it up, gain a little bit of control. And if Hawthorn, they should have done something, maybe along this line early when the game was getting away from them if they were fair income.
Ayres couldn't take it. Big Romano Negri. Little Eddie hugs the boundary line. It's exciting Eddie hockey. to David Marshall. Towards half forward. No mark taken. Kluge's got to try and beat three of them, and he just about does, although I think he'll lose it on that occasion. Too slow to get rid of it. Kennedy to centre wing. McGuinness couldn't take it. Jarman can. Pumps it back into the forward line once again. Waiting down. Darryl Hart. Hart goes over the top. Here's another one to Smith. His second.
Well, he is good at reading the play, Hart. He had a purple patch tonight against Geelong. Kicked 4 goals, I think, from memory. And here he is reading it well, getting underneath that pack, spotting Smith, and that's the way to answer any aggressive stuff. He's on the scoreboard, and the Crows have done it.
Back in the centre, Adelaide 18-10, Hawthorn 7-8. The Crows go right on with it. Ayres, his kick is smothered. Now Hawthorn looking to force it forward, but a free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going back there to Maynard. Maynard's drop punt kick towards centre half forward. High flyers by the Crows. Kluge, who never looks as though he's getting out of first gear. Allen chips in for Hawthorn. Good kick by Allen, finds Morrissey on his own. Doing the chasing is Filkey, but Morrissey gets his kick away. Up towards half forward, Burton from behind. Maynard gives it away to Thompson. Oh, that could be penalised. Thompson's kick. No way known, he was trying to keep it inside the field of play, but umpire Cameron gives the all clear. We'll have a boundary throw in 50 metres from goal. There's young Matthew Robber, and he's got an ice pack on his knee, so it doesn't look too good.
Ayres, a hurried kick. Going to be close to the boundary line. Either way, it's a South Australian ball with Lee marking. Ooh, not a good kick. Morrissey intercepts. Here's a chance now for Anderson going into the open goal, but he misses to the right. (7-9). Plays 18-10.
It's a strong mark, Maynard.
Tell you what, I'll be looking forward to seeing the front page of the newspapers in South Australia tomorrow.
Bad enough today, Sandy, just in the preview.
Well, they were right, weren't they? We will win. Big bold letters. Kick by Lawrence went nowhere. He may get another chance. No, he won't. Filthy. Set by Ayres, but it's a free kick, and it's going back to the Crows to be taken by Rodney Jamieson. Gives it to Filkey. So Filkey sends him towards Smith. Just couldn't quite complete the mark. Hart got the handball out quickly, but taken away by McGuinness. And this time it is Allen who pokes short towards Anderson on the half-back flank for Hawthorn. Dean Anderson looking towards centre wing, and a good mark on this occasion taken by Anthony Condon. We've had a number of players down tonight, but that's full credit to South Australia. The Hawks just haven't been able to get in it. Pritchard towards Dunstall. At the back, Jarman. He can kick another one here. He can walk into goal. And he hits the post!
Oh, dear.
And that made happy.
As if that hasn't made the supporters happy.
Let's go down to the boundary line. And what's the situation with Chris McDermott, Max?
Sandy, Chris McDermott, he's in the rooms. He's surrounded by a team of doctors. Now, the good news is he's only dazed, and if you can believe it, he's asking the doctors or telling them he wants to get back out onto the ground.
I can believe that, because that's the sort of player he is.
But I don't think he can come back onto the ground because of the fact he didn't go through the interchange.
If you've been taken off on a stretcher, you can be taken off anywhere on the ground and still come back on.
Hart. Thank you, Robbo. Jarman. The Crows irrepressible. Lindner looks for the free kick. Kluge at the back. It didn't quite sit for him. Langford heads for the boundary line, and it goes over. John Kluge. 3 goals.
Enigmatic, isn't he, that fellow?
Yes.
He had a stint at Richmond earlier in his career too. Just couldn't make it down there.
Tonight a star. Jamieson was at the bottom of the pack. Whitman gets it out. Set sail across the centre once again. Jarman comes to meet it. Gives it away quickly to Paul Deere. Stabs it in towards Dunstall out on a long lead. A good kick. Brereton and Platten go back into the square. Platten gives him a lead. The kick is not a good one. Lindsay could be first to this. And really that does tell the tale of Hawthorn tonight as Thompson gets the Crows out of trouble again.
Kicks it to centre half forward. Kennedy falls over it. He gets the handball away. Andrew Jarman leads in the race for the ball. Sweeping hand pass back is brilliant to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick to centre half forward. No mark taken. The ball goes through the back. Allen looks as though he may be playing in the back pocket. McGuinness under pressure. So is Allen, but he gets his kick away. Out towards half back. It's gathered there by Anderson. Anderson short kick. Now Hawthorn have got a chance. Condon running up to centre wing. One bounce.
Goes in towards the middle. Now Pritchard towards Platten. Can't get front spot, and a good mark taken by Lee.
Good use of the body by Lee.
Well, he's looking for 50 then, but didn't get it. Jarman intercepting. Towards Dunstall, who's forced to prop a little, but is quicker to recover than Smart. Now Smart's on his hammer, and he does well. Does extremely well. Gets it across to Marshall, and again, the Crows out of stride. Over the top, Tregenza. He had a magnificent first half, Tregenza. Maynard to half forward, Smith in front, the juggler.
Bounced off his head nearly, I think
it doesn't matter, he's still paid.
But that's a sign of just how well they're travelling.
Yep. In towards the forward zone once more. Kluger's there, Filkey in front. May run out of room. Does. Well, they've got almost 45,000 here tonight. They're going to win by probably 70 points. And they play host to Carlton next week. I would imagine that will be a sellout as well.
Well, let's hope so. We thought that there was going to be over 50,000 here tonight, but there's a few spare spots. Hawthorn still striving hard to clear the ball. McGuinness gets it onto the left foot and kicks it back in towards the centre. Maynard overruns it. Marshall tries to get the handball back to the player. Diving on it, Paul Deere. Now Ayres gives it to Hudson. Hudson a quick kick. Slews off the side of his boot. Anderson could mark. He just drops it, but Platten's there to help him out. The kick towards half forward. Brereton marks, and the boos are apparent at Football Park. Brereton, the player who bounced Chris McDermott earlier in this quarter. Brereton's high drop punt kick. Right on the goal line. It could go through. It is. No, it's touched on the line. Gee, it's hard to tell from here. The ball looked as though it carried. And on the boundary line, Max Stevens, you have a word on Matthew Robran.
According to the Hawthorn runner, Matthew Robran has a corked thigh. Now, another official tells us that it's an ankle, but he will not be taking any further part in the game. So 50 each way on that one.
And you can't lose. Thank you, Max. Out of bounds on the outer side. Just under 14 minutes remaining.
I'm just thinking, I reckon this is the worst Hawthorn side I have seen.
Well, you've said that twice now, so you obviously mean it, Dom. Negri in front. Ayres to the forward line. Dunstall in trouble. Can he get out of it? Gives it to Paul Deere. Standing start with a left foot kick is wide to the left. But are you taking credit away from the Crows?
No, that's a compliment to the Crows, because last week we saw them completely obliterate North Melbourne, Hawthorn, and it's a compliment to the Crows because they've made them look really ordinary.
Back into play once more. Smart.
Oh, John, that's down the ground. Frustration by John Platten.
Negri can just keep going.
Oh, this is going to rub salt into the wound. The big ruckman.
He just lumbers away, gives it to Jamison. Jamison bounces his way almost to 50 metres and sets sail with a long kick into the forward line. Off hands to Lidner. Quick hand pass to Hart. Goal! How good's that?
How good? I'd say very good. That was very, very quick thinking by Lidner to spot Hart. Unselfish play too. It was a great kick by Jamison. He started on the bench. All left footers seem to be good kicks. Hudson should have really taken that. There's Lidner. Bang into the centre. Good play. They just can do no wrong. The side.
Well, the Adelaide Crows, they're just under 12 goals in front, and we've still got 13 minutes left. 19-10 to 7-12. Well, I don't think anyone would have predicted this. Most of us probably thought it would be a close game, but with Hawthorn winning. But they have just played fantastic football, the Crows. And they've been led by the player who's going to be last up in this incident, Andrew Jarman in the centre. Tony McGuinness, the big fellow in the picture. Negri was magnificent early. Now Lawrence gets the tap out. Maynard's kick wide towards the wing. Anderson marks, plays on. Can't quite control the football. The pressure is good by Hockey. Now the pressure good by Filkey. And eventually the Crows will get the football because they had the numbers. Marshall's kick across his body with the left foot has been marked by Jenke at half-back for Hawthorn. Always the Crows putting pressure on. Still not prepared to give in, and they lead by 12 goals. Lawrence marks. Short kick. Taken by Condon, who's had a quiet night. Condon's kick. High towards centre-half forward. Brereton tries to flip it over the back. Gathered there by Lee. Tregenza was a little bit of poor play, but good pressure by Warhurst. Tregenza goes back and makes up for his earlier slight error. McGuinness comes away with the football. Delivery magnificent. Mark taken by Klug. Looking to play on is John Klug. They've got players running free further up the field. He kicks it into the pocket. Leading out there, Lindner. McGuinness is close. Goes back, Scott McGuinness keeps his footing. Hand pass too fierce. Good gather by Jamieson. Left foot kick by that player. No, it's out of bounds. A little bit earlier in the right forward pocket. The boundary umpire a little slow as Peter McIntyre is quite happy with himself. And down there, Max, you have an update on Chris McDermott.
Just spoken with the Adelaide doctor. Chris McDermott, a little concussed, won't take any further part in this game, but he is fine.
Thank you, Max. Hart. Which way will it bounce?
The right way.
1 point goal.
Touched off the
Must
boot.
have been off the boot.
Yep.
19-11. Plays 7-12. Langford. Across to Condon. Spark really has gone out of this game as far as the Hawks are concerned. Only life now is when the Crows get a goal. And that, of course, brings the house down. Hudson's hand pass didn't quite accommodate Morrissey the first time. It did the second. That's a pretty good looking shot for goal. And he has kicked his second.
It was initiated by Paul Hudson up from the back pocket. Getting it across to Morrissey. Really no pressure in the game now. It's only a matter of fact. There it is. Morrissey messing it up, fumbling, but butters up. And you can see there, really no pressure at all. He wouldn't have been able to do that earlier in the game. Morrissey, his second goal.
Yeah, that's what I haven't seen him since.
Well, it just goes to show if you've got 20 committed players, you can make a game of anything in Australian rules, and that's exactly what Graham Corns has had tonight. These guys have given their all. Hawthorn go to centre-half forward, punched away by Lindsay, goes back in towards the centre, gathered by Whitman. He spots a player wide, half forward on this member's side, it's Condon. Condon kicks it into the pocket. Will it carry? It does, just nicely for Brereton. And the boos are there again. Dermott, not the number one pin-up boy here at Football Park. Player coming off. Negri being replaced by McIntyre as Brereton prepares to shoot for goal. Drop punt kick goes across the face and it's through for a behind to Hawthorn. That's their 13. 8-13 and the Crows 19-11. Well, they've been entertained, haven't they, Sandy? They've come here expecting the utmost, and they've got it. Delivered by 20 very good people here in the Adelaide Crows Guernsey. There's a 15-metre penalty against Johnny, 50-metre penalty rather against Johnny Platten, and it'll bring the ball up near the centre, and Hart will kick the Crows into attack.
He's been totally committed, haven't he?
Terrific stuff.
Lee on his own on the wing. Kicks the Crows up towards the half-forward line. Klug, the juggler. Swings it up in towards full forward. McGuinness, the spoiler from behind. Kennedy is there too. Smith also for the Crows. socket off the ground. Back towards the half-back line, and Morrissey wants someone going past. Ayres couldn't take it cleanly. Pritchard can. In towards the centre. Anderson and Lindsay. Anderson wins out. Does well.
At least one Hawthorn player that's tried tonight, Anderson.
Goes towards Brereton. Got in front, but couldn't hold it. Oh, Marshall, clean bowl. Well, he's made very few mistakes tonight. He'll butter up again for another possession. Clever kick. Beautiful to Jarman. Standing start. Bang! Another nail in the Hawk coffin.
It was interesting when he got the ball there, Jarman. All the guys pointed towards goal, as the cricketers do when the ball goes past the field. They all point in the direction of where the ball's got to be fielded. And on this occasion, they all pointed to Jarman in the direction of goal, kicked the goal. And that's what he did do. Has done very, very well in the centre tonight. Andrew Jarman, his first.
Well, the scoreboard, 131 to 61. Great effort by Adelaide. Big punch by Lawrence. 8 minutes left. Pritchard. Handball unselfishly to Morrissey. Morrissey to Dunstall. And we'll get some ironical cheers, I would think. No, we don't. The crowd are starting to leave Football Park. 44,000 people coming out here tonight to watch the Adelaide Crows in their first game in the AFL.
Well, Dunstall's only kicked the one goal. That was in the first quarter.
Dunstall shoots for goal with the drop punt. It's close. It misses. Darren Jarman has kicked 2 goals for Hawthorn. James Morrissey has kicked 2. The leading goal scorer for the evening has been Peter McIntyre, who at the moment is on the interchange bench. He's kicked 4. Klug 3 and McGuinness, Tony McGuinness that is, for the Crows 3 each. Lee kicks it in short. Thompson takes the mark. All the fight gone out of the Hawks. Thompson runs around on the right foot, kicks it high back in towards the centre. Over the top, Jamieson can't mark, but he's quick to recover. He gets the handball straight to Allen, the opponent. Morrissey, left foot kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Brereton collects it, gives it away to Lawrence. Lawrence spots a player further afield. It's Dunstall. Smart, who is athletic, goes after Dunstall. He's been a great opponent. Nigel Smart for the champion Hawthorn spearhead, and he forces the play out of bounds.
Throw in, Maynard at the bottom, but it's Jarman who comes out with it to Hart. Another hand pass away to Thompson, and the Crows out of defence, up towards their attacking zone. Hudson recovers well, but McGuinness is on him. Kennedy's caught, he's lost it.
3 Crows around 1 Hawk.
The battle of the birds.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do they go in an aerial duel, the Crows and the Hawks?
Well, I would normally back a Hawk.
I would too.
But if you've got 3 Crows...
They've been decimated tonight.
A murder. A murder.
They've pecked and pecked and pecked and pulled the Hawk apart.
So Libner has kicked 2 goals, both of those in the 3rd quarter. Coming into the side, replacing Scott Hodges. Failed a fitness test this morning. There's another one. No worries at all. And the Crows continue on their merry way. 21-11, 137. Hawthorn 8-14, 62.
Well, quickly doing my maths, that's that 75-point margin I mentioned. Last year Hawthorn were beaten. Their largest losing margin was 75 points by Essendon in round 15, and they've opened their account with the same margin. The lowest score actually last year was 9-5 Hawthorn.
They could get a chance to go forward here through Pritchard. His left foot kick is high towards centre forward. Brereton battling hard under duress. Platten, Pritchard, Anderson, and eventually the umpire picking a free kick out. And it could have been a little bit of a sympathy one there. It's going to Anderson, wide of the centre. Anderson kicks it inside 50 metres. Smart there. And he gets after it again. Gives it to Thompson. Gee, they share it around beautifully, those defenders. And Tregenza's little pass finds Filkey on his own. Filkey, a little stab pass, little drop punt pass. It's broken down by Langford. Langford comes through strongly for Hawthorn. And a long kick by the Hawthorn fullback up towards full forward. Brilliant play by Dunstall, but he misses. And it would have been a great goal by Jason Dunstall if it had come off. But he's had a dirty night as well. The delivery upfield has been very ordinary. And the champion full forward has had very few chances. 5 minutes left. Lee kicks it into the outer side.
21-11 to 8:15. The chant will go up for Eddie here in a minute. He pushes it 20 metres. Gets it to the wing. Morrissey caught.
It's a throw.
Tregenza. Opened like lightning tonight. He showed us glimpses of his blistering pace. McGuinness to the forward zone. Smith has been a winner up there. So too has Klug. And Smith didn't connect with the ball. Klug did. Don't tell me he's kicked another one. He has. He has.
He is very lackadaisical, Klug. The way he seems to have plenty of time to do what he wants. That's his fourth goal. I think he's only 3 in the first half. But watch this on replay. The ball comes out.
Bang. That hurt.
There. Just one step. Casually across his left shoulder. He's kicked 4 goals, 1 for the night. Klug at centre half forward. A great effort. And Langford looks like he's limping.
He was the one that copped the boot. But we go back to the centre. Jarman's at the bottom. Still there, and he does effectively get the ball out, but it goes straight to Kennedy. A high kick towards the half-forward line. Thompson's at the back. Waiting down Lindsay. Back to Thompson. Wide to the wing. Tregenza a chance to run. Keeps the ball in play, but he ran out of partners. Morrissey. Hawks have the numbers on this occasion. Jarman will have a shot perhaps inside 50. He does. Set sail for home. McIntyre is going to mark this, however, and does. Well, they come out with ease. Absolute ease. Maynard running down the flank. Gives it to Grantley Filkey, who gets around Lawrence. Stabs in towards the half-forward line, and Marshall will take yet another possession.
Like a practice match now, Sandy.
It is. Here's Smith. Oh, it's too easy.
It is, and this would be disappointing Alan Joyce and his cohorts, I think, watching from the coaching box. Well, if you go down, you must go down fighting all the way through.
I'm sure Hawk supporters around the country will be bitterly disappointed.
Oh, look at this.
No one on him. No one.
That's Maynard.
You sound surprised. He's already done it twice.
That's the third time. This could be the third. He's centre half back.
2 goals from the defender.
Oh. He's loving it. Rodney Maynard.
He'll now make that 3. Well, that really is rubbing salt into the wound. And what a gaping wound it is.
Oh. I think that picture tells the story. Boy, to let the centre half back, that's the 3rd time. You think after the first you'd button up and really tighten up, but to let it happen another twice, oh.
2.5 minutes
It's
left.
unforgivable. It's just unforgivable.
Don, are you disappointed with Hawthorn at the moment?
Oh, I'm just shaking my head in bewilderment.
2.5 minutes left, and the Adelaide Crows go marching on. Hawthorn, Whitman, who's been an honest goer, kicked the ball to centre half forward. Jarman can't get away, but he gets the handball to Brereton, who in turn gives it to Anderson. Anderson looking to give it off. He should be penalised. He will be. Too long, far too long. Hocking wastes no time. Gives it away to Filkey. Filkey, in turn, goes to McIntyre. Oh, he nearly came down from a Lawrence tackle. Back he goes to Filkey. Filkey's little chip pass is pretty good, and the mark is taken by McGuinness in front of Hudson.
Been a good player, Filkey, hasn't he?
Yeah, very good. Well, pick some bad ones in the Adelaide Crows jumper, Sandy, and I think you'd be critical. They've been a fantastic team all night. McGuinness has kicked. That's Tony up towards half forward. It's punched away. Comes down to Morrissey. He gives it away to Platten. Platten at half back. He struggled for the evening. Brereton striving hard. Suffering from injury. Gives the hand pass away. Back in towards the centre. Lawrence. Hand pass to Anderson. Over the top. Goes to Ayres in turn to Whitman. Whitman approaching 50 metres. The pass is a little too high for Dunstall. He nearly gets hold of it. Then applies the tackle on Lee. But look at them combining beautifully. Smart will come away for the Adelaide Crows. Lindsay shares it away. Tregenza at half-back. The high kick goes in towards the centre. Who can make the ground? No one. Platten. It goes through Platten's hands. Now Lawrence. The left foot kick by Lawrence. There's a player wide on the half-forward area, and that's Anderson. He runs in through centre half-forward. Kicks it high towards full forward.
Oh, that's shepherding, that's shepherding.
Coming out of Smart, but Don, you've spotted a free kick.
Yeah, that was against Darren Jarman. I mean,
Andrew Jarman in the Adelaide side.
Yes, I'm confused as well. There was a shepherd, a really heavy shepherd on Dunstall. The ball was nowhere near those two.
Dunstall, with seconds left in the match, will kick a goal from directly in front. He doesn't miss these. It's all clear.
Well, an easy goal, a gimme, his second. He's had a very, very quiet night. He's been beaten actually by Smart and Bruce Lindsay going off. He doesn't look too good, Lindsay. Negri coming back on, but he's done a wonderful job, this Torrens player.
Yes, another of the veterans in the Crow lineup. Been a very good player for a number of years. And having a well-earned spell from the bench as we call for another ball.
Well, somebody souvenired the ball, and it could be a very valuable ball in years to come. I wonder if someone will have it mounted.
Didn't think there'd be anybody left in the crowd.
It might have been someone just trying to get away out of the car park early. So, the final seconds. I'm sure the Hawks will be pleased to hear the siren, and so will these fans here at Football Park. From the middle, past Pritchard. Marshall tried to tap it wider. It's effective to the running Tregenza. Stabs up towards Smith. And he'll have a shot. There's no one in the square. He's just gone over the top, will he? Unselfish play. Lidner has kicked 3 and will more than likely have the last kick in this match. Well, he will.
The Crows have really done everything right tonight. I haven't found a cheat in the stop as the siren goes.
Lidner will want to finish it off. He shoots towards goal. Oh, he finishes it off all right. A marvellous victory for the Adelaide Crows. Bruce Lidner finishes the night with 4 goals. And an 86-point win.
44,000 screaming fans saw Adelaide destroy Hawthorn, and even then they were talking flags. But yibbida folks, it wasn't to be. 1994 they started off like a very fast train again. A capacity crowd at Footy Park, and they saw Modra at his best against Carlton.
Madden to go from the left. And remember in that second quarter, Adelaide kicked 7-8 and the Blues didn't score when Adelaide was going to the left-hand end. Tregenza through the centres had very good second and third quarter. Smart on a lead, unable to take what would have been a difficult mark. McCormack towards the boundary line, hoping it'll get there. Rolling and rolling, now starting to pull up. Bradley out after it. Hip and shoulder by Bradley, Airy, and now running out. Groom going with him. And Bradley's really run himself out tonight by the look of it. Socks down, looks weary. Big crowd here, probably a sellout. All the tickets were sold, we were told. About 47,000 people as normal. Plans are underway to increase the stadium by 5,000 or 6,000 to get it up to about 52 or 53. Williams got it from Bradley, back into the centre. Rashuko has been very good. Wide, Smart the target, Christou to go with him. Christou and Smart. It's been a good drill since Christou went back there. Smart trying to run away from him. Still with Smart. Goes for goal. Hall chipping in behind. Point to Adelaide. 16-15 to 7-5. Smart, one of 5 goal scorers for the Crows. Groom off for the Crows. Brown there with him. And it's 111 to 47. 16-15 to 7-5.
The kick in has been marked by Hannah. He goes short. Christou in trouble. Jarman the tackler. Back to Hannah. Oh, gee whiz. Isn't that a sit under that one, son? Oh, good stuff by McCormack. He made it his and took the mark away to Hannah. Surely this will be a much improved kick. Out towards Madden. Madden tries to get rid of it. He does for Bradley. Bradley tackled well by Big Wren. What about the ruckman's tackle on the smaller player? Tregenza, a sweeping hand pass. Tony Hall loves these, but he didn't like that. Kicks are behind. 3 goals, 2 to Tony Hall. 16-16 to 7-5. 18 and a half minutes left. So Carlton, surely Gerard would be striving to just keep this scoreboard a little neater than it looks at the moment.
Respectability, I think, Robbo. Important when you're going into another big game next week, just to finish on a good note.
McCormack through the centre. Heaver back on the ground, gets a free kick against Liptak. Williams, the advantage is given to Carlton. Williams to Silvani, good kick Williams. Good falling attempt by Silvani, gets back up. Ricciuto runs into him. Bond sweeps on it, it's already kicked one. Good play, goes for it. Looks like he's kicked his second, he has. Promising player, ex-Port Adelaide 20-year-old.
Well, the value of the shepherd there. Troy Bond was about to be tackled.
What about the way Williams summed up the situation that the advantage kick was going to be taken?
Well, he's a pretty intelligent player. Mate, just have a look at the hot shepherd coming up. Won't be too many plaudits for this. It won't go on the stat sheet. There you see him take that Crow player out of the game and allows Bond to get his second goal. Been a reasonable debut from Troy Bond. Ex-Port Adelaide player.
Well, he's had 16 possessions and what's that, his second goal. So nippy. Not a bad performance. The bounce back in the centre, 16-16 to 8-5. Madden. Williams, little kick towards half forward. Oliver makes it his. Tackled, didn't have the football. Maybe a little soft. But Oliver takes the free kick.
Probably a sign of things to come with Oliver up on the half forward line. I'm sure Kernahan and Oliver will just interchange. And of course Carlton got Earl Spalding to come back into the side. Rowan Walsh, another player. So they've got plenty of options of big players. They won't be all in the one team though.
Slow motion football. Justin Madden away to Silvani. Silvani's kick is way offline. Out of bounds on the full, and the free kick to be taken for the Adelaide Crows. Back there by Rouvray.
Well, it's a tough spot to start your football season, Football Park. Carlton did it 3 years ago. I think it was in 82. Worked that one out 2 years ago.
91 now.
Sorry, 91. Thanks, Bruce.
There's McGuinness getting a free kick. Yes, they came here on a Sunday afternoon and beat Adelaide after Adelaide had thrashed Hawthorn in the opening round of the season. McGuinness.
Well, it's not a free kick because if McGuinness runs over the line, so can Craig Bradley, much to the dismay of a few of the Crow supporters.
I think they're looking for 50 metres because Bradley ran across in front of him.
Well, that's what I was saying. If Bickley goes first, he's allowed to go with him.
Maynard to Anderson. Anderson in the centre square. Modra the target's kicked 8 already. Goes with one hand. Handball by Koutafidis, pretty good to Williams. Williams getting a lot of touches now. 12 kicks, 10 handballs. Hannah away from centre wing. Been a better performance by Carlton since half-time. Real blowout in that second quarter. Bradley tries to break a tackle, can't do it. Now Bond. Silvani on the lead. Rouvray with him. Silvani's been busy at full forward after having his colours lowered by Modra in the opening half and running it out of play. Crow supporters all getting a hat this year with their season's ticket in the colours of the club. And earlier today it was just the right bit of gear.
Down it comes to Liptak. He couldn't break clear. Bickley is there for Adelaide. Short kick by Bickley, effective. Puts Anderson in a good position and he marks at right half back. Greg Anderson, not bad statistics from the winger. He's kicked towards centre wing. There's a ball at the back. Wiedemann, little hand pass, Ricciuto's kick in towards half forward, over the top of Hall. Koutafidis goes back. Ratton's kick in towards half back and Dean takes the mark. Dean's hand pass away to Koutafidis. Koutafidis long kick in towards half forward. Outnumbered back there was Heaver. Liptak is there. Gets the hand pass away to McGuinness and McGuinness gives Hall one of his easiest possessions for the night.
In short to Lee. He's got Hall outside. He'll go there too. Slow kick, but it gets to Hall. He's at 50 on his left foot. Good kick. Goes right to the goal square. Modra will take a fly. Smart there. Well done, Christou. Punches it away from behind. 16-17 to 8-5. Peter Dean, the veteran, 29 years of age. He's played 163 games going into this. Gets it to Christou. Christou, centre wing. Hannah punches it forward. Had quite a few touches in this last quarter. Williams, well played Anderson to get it off him.
Great play, Anderson. Good turnover.
Nice looking kick. Wiedemann the target, unable under pressure to take it. Koutafidis from centre wing up towards half forward. Cook in the front spot, making his debut tonight along with Bond. Liptak, who's been quite brilliant in the back pocket. Jarman, he'll love this situation. He'll look for Modra. Modra will go. Jarman will kick it. Oh, well played, Dean. Came in from the side to take it away, and some good shepherding by Ratton. Dean out wide to Hannah. Had to sit, wait, prop. Get around McDermott now. Hannah looking for an option. Goes up to centre wing. Oliver gets pushed in the back. Gets a free kick against Jamison.
He's had a very good game, Jamison. Had a couple of players taken off the ground, in particular Michael Sexton early, but I think he's probably just a shade short to combat Stephen Oliver.
Oliver's kick in towards half forward. Ben Hart, a rare fumble, but he's able to gather. Bitley, back to Ben Hart. Well done. And Maynard, a lovely little left foot kick to the advantage of Tregenza. Tregenza with that awkward bouncing style. Away to Liptak. Liptak's kick, very short. Modra makes it. Little hand pass, not quite as what Tony Modra would have liked. Away goes Sexton. Out wide. Played by Brown. In towards Williams. Williams looked to give it back to Brown. And then a short kick being marked by Bradley. Bradley's running in towards centre half forward. He kicks up towards full forward. The kick was all right for Silvani. And Silvani ducks back and marks on his chest after removing Rubre out of the contest.
It was good work there by Steve Silvani. He led forward initially. You could see Bradley had plenty of time to hold the ball, so then he reverted and went backwards, leading towards goal, a bit like Mark McClure did through the 80s. Took a pretty good mark on the chest.
Silvani has kicked one. Oh, this is very close. He may have missed this.
Sums up the night for Carlton.
Stephen Silvani's kicked 1 goal 3. And we mentioned that he started the game at full back on Tony Modra. Modra, on the other hand, has kicked 8 goals for the Crows. 16-17, plays 8-6.
Sexton's done all right, hasn't he, since he's gone back there. Rouvray short into Anderson. Sweeps around onto his left foot. Handball to Jamison. Bradley chasing. Jamison very short to Tregenza. Tregenza's wobbly one, very effective. Maynard. Modra. Quick lead. Sexton trying to go with him. Modra's acceleration always impressive. And this to Ty Dunstall as the leading goal kicker in the opening round. And I feel like we did last year with Ablett and Modra and Dunstall. It'll be a great battle between the leading goal kickers this year. Jakovic got 8-8 today. We hope to be talking to Neil Baum later tonight, and probably Lee Matthews, who's at the ground here. Modra's kicked his 9th. 9 to Modra. It's a great start to the season. He kicked 10 goals last year in his opening match against Richmond at the MCG. You can't ask for much more from a full forward to catapult yourself into a season, can you?
Don't look at me questioningly, Bruce. I would never argue with you when it comes to a statistic like that.
Well, he did. 17-17 to 8-6. Just thinking, Robbo, 10 goals Modra in the opening round last year, 9 in this round.
Well, there'll be some interested spectators, I'm sure, having backed Tony Modra to kick most goals in this round. And good effort there by Alvin. He probably knew that there were going to be some players coming down on him. He stood his ground, marked on his chest. He's kicking towards the pocket. Madden, a little bit too tall there for Rodney Maynard. And Madden is marked in the right forward pocket for the Blues.
And walking around like all experienced players will try to do, trying to open up the angle. The umpire right onto him, as are all the Crow supporters, particularly those in the yellow hat, right deep in that forward pocket.
And the umpire, I'm sure, wanted Justin Madden to move around another couple of metres, but Justin wasn't moving. So he's got some chance here to kick a goal for the Blues. Pretty quiet night statistically for Justin Madden. He can improve that, and a very good kick. It's a goal. For Madden's first goal brings Carlton up to 60 points. They've kicked 9-6-60, but they trail miserably on the scoreboard as we have another look here at Justin Madden.
He's a pretty good shot at goal, Justin, when he gets a set shot. Don't really like him on the move all that much, although he showed us a ripper last year in the semi-final. One of the goals of the year. 12 goals last year in total.
17-17 to 9-6. Madden with his first goal tonight. Wren wins the tap. Williams looking for a free kick. Didn't get one then. Tregenza. Hannah. Quick kick away. Getting a lot of touches, Hannah, in this final term. Jamison. Clever to Liptak. Against the flavour. Gave him a run. High tackle by Bond.
Yeah, a bit dubious too, Troy. I agree with that one.
Short by Liptak to Hart. Hart and Rashudo have both been excellent for Adelaide. Two of their teenagers. Alvin cut it off. McCormack. Centre half forward. Silvani gets set with Rouvray. Tackling it was Rashudo. Good football by Bradley. Bond with a chance to kick his third. High one. I think he's got it. Yes, he has. 3 goals to young Bond. And that's a pretty good effort for Bond in a side that's been badly beaten. And the good thing about Carlton here, at least they're keeping going. They're up to 10 goals, 6 to 17-17. Outscored Adelaide in the second half.
Well, it's important, I think, that teams do fight games out, because you never know how important it's going to be in the final analysis. I know you can get back on percentage quickly if it's in the early rounds, but still, it's good to see them fight it out. Madden gets the tap out, but McGuinness bashes it forward. Koudafidi's at the back, sweeps onto the left foot, then gives a little right foot kick out towards Hannah. Hannah's at left half back, gets past Anderson, and a short kick taken by McCormick. He waited for it, probably not what you should do. Ratton, then Christou. Wider still for Bond, coming up for possession. Number 19 is Bond, and it's a good one. He puts it on Stephen Silvani's chest, 50 metres from goal. Silvani puts it into the square. Madden takes the mark, and I'm sure Carlton supporters would be happy with this. 2 marks by a man who's very, very tall as far as players are concerned in AFL football, and he's doing just what the Blues supporters have been looking for a long time from Justin Madden. 4 marks now.
Well, Shea Cockatoo Collins kicked 3 goals on debut yesterday, and got a vote from Bernie Quinlan. So we've got another young fellow, Troy Bond, also pushing up. Won't get a vote, but certainly one of Carlton's better performers tonight.
Madden shoots the goal, and it's pretty good. It's Justin's second goal. So the Blues kick their 11th goal, and the fans trying to just gee something up. Surely they have no chance of winning the game, because Adelaide are 17-17 and the Blues 11-6.
Well, I know the Crows will go away to a comfortable victory here, but just having a look at their list, they appear to have an absolute obsession with 6'2 to 6'6" feet players. They've got Broom, Bone and Wigney, who's probably a little bit past it. Robran, Smart, Ingerson, Wiedemann, Hall, Anderson, Modra, Brett Chalmers, a couple of young unknowns, Wellman and Sam Smart. They're all playing for about 4 positions on the ground, so I'm not overly impressed with the depth of the Crows, but on tonight's performance they're going to be a danger.
Wren got a free kick, gave it to McDermott. Sexton got rid of Modra.
That was a push in the back, wasn't it?
I'm sure a lot of fans out there agree.
Gee whiz, that
Sexton goes wide. Now Maynard has come onto the ground in this last quarter, on Cook at the moment. To Lee. I think a lot of people expected an avalanche in this final term, and it hasn't come. Carlton stuck to its guns well. Modra on a lead, going for his 10th goal. Great grab in front of Sexton.
You know, about 12 metres before he took the mark, Sexton was with him. And he seemed to just hesitate, which meant that Sexton had to stop as well. And then when Modra went again, it gave him that 1.5 metre space to mark in front of himself.
It's more spectacular than Dunstall, isn't he? But there's a lot of Dunstall in Modra, the way he can mark from the
Bruce,
front.
that's a big statement.
Well, I mean, he takes a higher mark. I'm not saying he's a better player. I mean, Dunstall's probably the all-time great in terms of longevity and performance. Modra kicks his 10th. But he has some of Dunstall's great attributes.
Yeah, I think he's much more an excitement factor, isn't it? You know, it's some of the things that he does when you say the high marks, but Dunstall, I think there's a few fans that would be sort of saying, I'll vote for Dunstall because they're both great full forwards.
I think the leap you just saw on TV is one of his great assets, so it's worth another couple of yards because not many players can go with him. And just for the record books, just to please you, Bruce, last year his best was 13 goals, and that was also under lights versus Richmond in round 16.
Well, one wonders how many more goals he's got to kick to feature maybe as the best player on the ground. 10 in a team score of 18 certainly is a top performance, but Bickley has played pretty well, and there he is again, feeding the ball out to McDermott. McDermott's kick goes out in front of Smart. He falls over, but the ball spills for Lee. Lee's little kick, not too bad, but it's marked by Sexton, who on this occasion comes out in front of Modra. Short kick by Sexton, finds Ratton. Ratton nearly run down, gets the kick away in towards half forward. Mark taken by Cook was pretty good, and Cook has shown enough. He looks a little slow, but certainly robust enough to be of some use to the Blues across half forward. Ball kick though, Tregenza chops it off. Unselfishly, McDermott. Quickly, McDermott, wide. Ineffective. Overrunning it was Heaver. In goes Bond. Still in there was Visca, and then eventually it finishes with Tregenza. Tregenza's kick goes towards half forward. Backing himself was Dean. Well done, Peter Dean, and he bashes the ball close to the boundary line. Safety first. It goes over in front of Tony Hall for a boundary throw-in.
Have to admire Peter Dean. He had to put up with the disappointment of missing a grand final berth last year with injury. Had a terrible injury to his foot. He's also suffered multiple fractures of a forearm that has put his career on stop a few times.
Koutafidis combines with Williams. Williams was under enormous pressure. Now Hogg to no one in particular. Brown, then Ratton. You're gone. Very much so. Visca. Hogg across to Williams. Williams tried to get it to McCormack. Not a lot of understanding there by the Blues in the middle of the field. Ratton now tries to get it clear. McCormack falls over, and that is so critical in modern day football. You must keep your footing, as the Crows have done there. Nigel Smart looks for Modra. Back at rebounds for Ben Hart. Tackled by Christou was very effective. Through comes Sexton. Keeps his footing and then kicks it back near the centre of the ground, where a great stretching diving effort by Rodney Maynard results in a mark to that player.
Back to Jamison. Jamison swings it wide. Not a really good kick. I think he was looking for McGuinness. Bond with the legs takes the mark. Very good debut by Bond. 20 years of age, 3 goals, and arguably in Carlton's best 3. Madden got it from Heaver to Hogg. Hogg from about 65 metres chips it in towards Cook at centre half forward. Bit indirect. Cook tackled by Maynard. Gets a handball away, but not really effective. Visca got it to Jarman. Jarman to Liptak. Liptak goes towards full forward. Modra's there, big fly. Hall at the back. Well played, Sexton. Gets it up to centre wing. Alvin out in front of Tregenza, who's ended up winning this duel on the night. Alvin Tregenza holds him up, robs him of it cleverly. Still Alvin, Tregenza to Wiedemann. Wiedemann short to Smart, to Jarman. They'll love this. Modra comes in to the goal square. Jarman kicks it to him beautifully. Wonderfully. 11 goals for Modra. And Jars did mean it.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfectly weighted kick, wasn't it? And Tregenza's done a very good job tonight. He's won a lot of hard balls.
Yeah, he's done quite well. He does very well at centre bounces, and he has done well in the crunch, as you said, Bruce, but I'm not sure he's won the battle. I think it was probably 50-50. I thought Alvin was well on top at half-time, but
get clear of the centre. Greg Williams' kick, maybe a little awkward. James Cook away to Heaver. Heaver in turn to Bond. Bond a little slow. Got his kick away up towards full forward. A little too far out of reach there for Stephen Silvani. There's young Bond. David Parkin issuing instructions down to the bench. And a boundary throw-in will take place in the right forward pocket for the Blues. Cook up high. Madden. A battle there with Rodney Jamison for the possession of the football, and the umpire is forced to bounce about 25 metres from the Carlton goal.
Well, it's difficult to assess exactly where the Crows are in terms of their value towards the or their drive towards the premiership.
Well, you've got to win enough games to get into a decent posse, I would suggest, and
I'll do that.
They look as though they might be a chance. There's a great kick by Fraser Brown as a goal to Carlton.
So Carlton fighting the game out. And Fraser Brown congratulated there for kicking Carlton's 12th goal. They trail 12-6 to 19-17.
Yes, they looked poor in almost every position on the ground last week. Essendon gave them an awful thumping. In fact, I can't even think of one player that won his position for the Crows, and yet tonight it's difficult to find a bad player for them. Is it the venue? Is it the weather? Perhaps it's the full moon.
Bradley a little bloodied there. 4 minutes remaining, 19-17 to 12-6. Christou's quick kick around to Bradley. Bradley's had 10 kicks, 12 handballs. Reasonable game by him, but he has been held in check. Rouvray there with Silvani coming to ground. Heaver tried to sweep. McGuinness, Heaver again gets a little kick away. Getting back there is Visca. Spent a fair bit of time on the interchange after having Heaver kick a couple of goals early. Maynard went out to Anderson. Anderson's 13th kick. Back towards Jarman. Ratton at the back. Jarman unable to take it. Brown to Hannah to Williams. Williams back towards Bradley. Bradley going towards full forward to Cook. Good kick. And young Cook takes the mark and now has a chance to kick his first goal in AFL footy. So the Blues, since half-time, have kicked 8 goals, 4, and Adelaide has managed 7 goals, 5, so they've done pretty well.
And a lot of people have written Carlton off. Well, I'm not one of those who think that they will tumble out of the 8. In fact, I think they've got a better side now than they did last year when they went into the grand final.
Big tumble though, Gerard, from top at one stage to 8, not 6.
Apart from Bond,
people written them off.
Apart from Bond, how do you think they've lifted their pace across the ground? We'll watch Cook kick the goal and then you may answer that.
Goes from about 30 metres and kicks it. So Carlton up to 13. I was being a bit facetious, Stuart. I just meant that
I'm used to that.
To play in a grand final one year, not be in the top 8 the next. I mean, now that we have a final 8 rather than a 6, would be a huge drop, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they've got a very difficult draw, and I think that's the premise on which most people were basing that assumption. But young Cook, well, he's done all right. He's got a taste of it. He's got plenty more in store. But just to answer your question, Robbo, I think if Mitchell can come through with a little bit of confidence, he's certainly not going to add pace to the side, but he will add extra run. I think that's where Carlton have fallen down tonight. It's not their sheer leg speed that'll be the deciding factor, but the movement of the ball, and that's true pace in today's football. Koutoufides, I think you'll see him play a lot of football, and he'll add that raw quality of pace to the game. And I think I've been quite impressed with McCormack. He's done quite well. I saw him debut up in Brisbane a couple of years ago. In fact, he got reported in his first game for smash tackling somebody, and he did that in the centre of the ground when he gave Bickley one hell of a bump. Not frightened to get in and share the bruising and the workload around.
Well, hasn't Wren played a wonderful game for the Crows? We saw him in the action there. McCormack gives away a bit of ground. Williams handball terrific. Ratton goes wide. Christou, the Blues have got a chance to score another goal here. Christou, the quickest player on the Carlton list. He goes through the centre, kicks towards full forward. Silvani, contest with Rouvray, ball on the ground. Maynard taps it back. Gleeson on the ground, in trouble. Silvani just patting the ball on in front of himself, went too far in the finish and gave Anderson the chance to get it across to McDermott, and the kick falls in short. Christou taps away from Nigel Smart, but Smart's recovery was excellent, and Anderson gets another possession and kicks wide across half forward. Wiedemann, can he get past? No, he's going to go for goal, and Wiedemann kicks the goal, and Gerard, maybe you don't agree, but it's a goal. So Wiedemann very much idolised here by the Crows supporters, gets the goal from about 50 metres. Well, he's a lot closer than that.
He fainted there. Tony Hall was 30 metres on his own. There he is just at the bottom, and he totally ignored him. Wiedemann only kicked 7 goals last year, so he's not a big goal kicker.
That full moon always comes up after we see Wiedemann, Gerard. You got
something extraterrestrial about him, isn't there, Bruce?
You got a direct line to the direct door. It's 2017 to 13-6. Crows mounting another attack. Though Carlton's performance in this last quarter has been pretty good. Wiedemann from half forward.
Look at Modra.
Touches a couple of times and then blazes away and scores a behind.
Well, long points from outside of the 50 are just low percentage performances from footballers today. That should have gone to the top of the square where Modra would have entertained us all in this last quarter, perhaps setting up mark of the day. But
You are looking into your crystal ball. You're assuming a bit.
Bombing from outside 50 is one of the most poor percentage pieces of play football has to offer, and I think you'll find as we get more professional that there'll be a lot more set plays from set kicks from outside 50, and that should have really just gone to the top of the square.
2018 Adelaide, Carlton 13-6. Scott Lee, the 31-year-old Crow, who's played, I think, 66 out of the 67 matches that the club's been involved in. He's hardly missed, just missed the one. Here's Modra, 11 goals, got another one. Just the even dozen for the superstar in this city. I reckon he's bigger than Bradman, and a lot of people, I think, misunderstood what they meant when he said he was bigger than Bradman. They didn't mean he was a better talent. They meant that he's got more popularity because of what the media's doing.
Well, it's the profile, isn't it? I mean, if you explain it, it is genuine. I mean, that comment is a genuine comment. He's just an absolute superstar, as you mentioned, in this town.
12 goals. It's a big effort, isn't it?
I'm sorry, Bruce, to concur wholeheartedly with your comment there, but he's a tremendous player. Jarman trying to get the ball clear from Maynard. Maynard still. McGuinness, who's fought very hard to break clear. Now Fraser Brown. Hand pass smothered. Bickley, Tregenza, Smart handles the ball very, very sure. Modra, that must be a free kick. And the fans, well, I'm sure a lot of them came here expecting him to kick a bundle of goals, but well, he's coming up for 13, which will equal his best effort in AFL football, which he kicked 13, last year, was it, against Richmond?
Here, under lights.
Well, he likes the lights. I think he just likes football park, and it's a beautiful kick. Never looked like missing. And good on him. He was under a lot of pressure during the week. I'm sure that the Crows administration were concerned with that young man, and he's fought back. Neil Curley said before the game that it wasn't a concern, he was focused. Well, let's hope from a Victorian football fan that he's not focused too often like this.
Well, I think that we all agreed that perhaps Bickley was and Modra equal best on the ground at about halfway through the third quarter, but I think you'd have to say that 13 goals in a game of football is a DOG performance.
Bickley to half-court, Wiedemann running onto it. Adelaide finishing with a flurry. Gee, what an exciting day when Jakovic could kick 8-8 and Modra 13 in the one day. Two of the really high flyers in the game. Two of the men that bring the people through the gates, excite people to want to come and see this terrific game of footy. McGuinness to Anderson. Could Modra kick 14? He's in the front spot. Has a second grab. He's got it. No play on. Winning him home. He'll still have a chance. No siren goes. What an anticlimax. Oh. Well, he's a great star. He's a great footballer.
For personal best, though, you think the umpire at the time goes a little bit to go another second.
Especially here in Adelaide.
No feel for the theatrics.
13 goals to Modra in a magnificent exhibition of goal scoring. It's still the round one record. We move further into 1994 with round 17. Adelaide played host to the Eagles, and simply, it was a thriller.
10-7, 8-8. Will the Crows still be alive in 30 minutes' time? Will they still have a chance in 1994? Or West Coast go on again? Pikes kicked to half forward. Lee got a punch away from Evans. Evans was all right in that third quarter. With a goal, a high ball. Sumich being held up. McDermott fills the hole. Under pressure, Jamison boots it high and wide. Goes out towards Schwert, who's been pretty good tonight. Banfield with him. They go to the boundary line and out of play. Free kick coming back to Schwert. Goals have been hard to get, therefore you'd say the first one's pretty important here. It's either a 3-goal margin for the Crows or a 1-goal game. Rashudo, the free kick was paid, advantage given. It goes up to half forward. Ingerson, very good to McGuinness, taps it on the ground, goes long, misses a chance, Kluzak! He's kicked 4.
This is an absolute find for the Crows, isn't it? A boy like this to come in when the game was in the balance with Ross going off early and then Smart. This boy has come in and stood very, very tall.
4 goals, 2 from the pocket. This to give Adelaide a 17-point lead. He's got it. Well, if you were bookmaking, I reckon for the first time tonight, Adelaide's favourite. For the first time, you'd have them slightly in front of West Coast. 11-7 to 8-8. McGuinness again, 20 kicks he's had, Terry.
He has been the instigator of this whole game. I think Wren initiated early, but McGuinness has stuck strong right throughout. And if you're a coach in these positions, Bruce, and you get some of your young boys standing up, that's the buzz in it all.
So the Crows by 17 points. Wren goes up and bumps it forward. Matera straight back to Wren. Nicely done. Sidesteps and kicks down towards half-forward. Jakovic stumps it out wide. Worsfold in front. Hasn't had a great night. Worsfold went to ground. Anfield crashes in. Socket off the ground by Jakovic. Out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Michael Malthouse. An intense look. Approaching his 250th AFL-VFL game. Close to the boundary line. It's out of bounds. 114 with the West Coast Eagles. The side up against it at the moment. Football Park crowd and the Adelaide Crows. A very potent combination. Turnbull on it behind. Wiedemann's kick goes straight up in the air. Pittman, wild swing at it. Comes back to Wiedemann. Puts it across to support Beckley. Wilson reaches over the top, this away. McGuinness in front, close to the line. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. So a boundary throw in. Few free kicks tonight. Just 24 of them paid. The Eagles have got 9. Adelaide 15. And the umpires have let them play. Turnbull knocks it down, taken by Wilson. Hart, very good. Close to the line. Pulls it back across his body. Going back with great courage was Beckley. He's hurt. He collided there with Lewis. This is Wiedemann. McDermott's in trouble. Lewis got him. Close to the line. Matera overran it. And the ball's out of bounds once more.
Beckley groggy. Picks himself up. Eyes on the ball. Lewis going hard as well for 11-7, 8-8. Centre wing. Wren and Turnbull. Wren won it. McDermott. A lot of kicks across half back. Been caught out a couple of times, but he's done pretty well. Well played by Pesh. First game tonight. Got away from Wilson. Centering kick. Modra at the back. Climbs high. No free kick to McIntosh. Is he on Modra for the moment? Held up and a ball up about 40 metres from the Crows' goal. McBrennan's done a good job on Modra.
Yes, well, I think Mick has made that move. He was getting a little bit edgy. I think you get the feeling that Modra could get on the end of some stuff very, very quickly here now.
Gee, wouldn't they like him to get on the end of one here at 40 metres out. Hart run off it. Schwerk tried an airy. But didn't try an airy. He had one. Tried one off the ground. Over the top of it was Ben Hart. And again it's going to be Peter Carey's footy. Hart's done well. He's been out there to stop Matera, and he's done that job successfully so far. A punch away to the pocket. Kluzek, the man of the moment. 5 goals from the pocket. Can he use this effectively? Goes back. Good kick. And Rashudo will make the distance, and I think he might kick a goal. He's probably the best kick in the Crows from this position.
That's great thinking for a boy so inexperienced, I guess, at AFL level, to be able to look for the squaring up kick at all opportunities, and Rashudo was there.
It's kick one. Big, long kick. You'd make some money betting on that fellow, wouldn't you? Shooting for goal. What a player he is at 19 years of age.
He's got the world in front of him, hasn't he? The Teal Cupper in 1991, 19 games in his first year in 93 with 3 finals. Mark Rashudo has been a consistent player right throughout this game and has been a source of supply through half forward all evening.
To 23 points now. Beckley out of the middle. Floats one very high towards half forward. Wilson, good mark. Wilson up from half back. Comes out wide. Pike into open space. Has this ball on the wing. A real test now for the league leaders. Back in round 2, they trailed by 16 points at three-quarter time, Bruce, and got back to win by 19, but different sort of affair this. Doesn't look likely. Heady, he was the man that sparked them at Subiaco Oval. That was a clever mark. He started tonight with 2 goals. He finished in that game, of course, with 4. Gives it away. McDermott to Jamison. Jamison across the ground. Now Hart will stretch. How will it bounce for him? Mainwaring arrives. Hart knocks it on. Tried to get it to his own advantage. Mainwaring wins the contest. Back inside the 50. Waiting behind McGuinness. Dropped the mark. Opportunity for Heady. Heady back to goal. Lays it off to Evans. Worked out of it well by Lee. McGuinness comes back. Anxious to make amends. Heads for the boundary line. And finds it. And the crowd are rapturous.
Just thinking, I think the Crows kicked the first goal in the last quarter, Subi, and got to 22 points. And they now lead by 23. Big difference playing in front of their home crowd. And what a difference in those weeks the season has been for the two clubs. Bickley to centre wing. Brown, well done by Hart. Brown just held on to him a bit. Rashudo held up. Well done. Wiedemann has to handball. Doesn't. Breaks it. Gets some distance with the left leg. Ingerson sets himself off. Good play by Ball. He is a very good footballer at 21 years of age. Made his debut 3 seasons ago and looks as if he could play in a grand final under pressure. Pittman had 2 goes at it. Missed by McGuinness. Important there that Jakovic was able to beat 3. Lewis will give it back to Jakovic. Jakovic has to stretch. Wren can't get to him. McDermott can't get to him. Jakovic goes to the pocket. The kick carries and hits the behind post on the fall. A wasted chance for the Eagles, and they need 4 goals to win. They can't afford to waste too many. McDermott gets it, goes long to centre wing. Matera's at the back. Pittman takes a mark. Crows going well at the moment. At half-back, Pittman.
Gentle kick towards the wing. Worsfold attempted the one-hander. Crashes his way through. The ball spills out of bounds. So a throw-in. What about the odds of, at this stage of the game, Matthew Kluzek being the leading goal scorer with 5. The local Eagle thwarting the Eagles. Turnbull out of the congestion, was held without it. He'll get the free kick. That'll be for the kick as he went down to find the ball. Really struggled against Sean Wren in the opening half. Ryan Turnbull chips. Jakovic marks. Forward at half forward. 12-7 to 8-8. Jakovic sets it up for Sumic. Up he goes, fingertips to it, couldn't hang on. Desperation by Wellman, shovels it out. Lee couldn't control it. McKenna's hand pass blanketed effectively by Lee. Back across the boundary line. Nod of approval.
McKenna and Jakovic both playing up forward.
Confidence, a remarkable thing in a football team, and suddenly it's surging. It's pumping through the veins of these Crows. Matera diving in Wren. Matera comes sprawling out. Wren tries to shovel it out. Coming out backwards, McGuinness. Scrambles a kick, but only as far as Lewis. He's at right half forward. Gets by McGuinness. He settles, he measures the kick, he goes for home. It's a beautiful kick, it's a goal. Well, you couldn't draw it up any better. The underdogs in front. On the top of the table, Eagles are coming after them.
And they'll need to keep the pace up here, the Eagles, because the Crows have got the momentum as we've called. The crowd are really urging with them. Lewis here being able to kick the goal that has kept them basically within touch. The Crows need to wrest it back now.
Eagles get one back. Under 13 minutes remaining, 42,860, the official crowd. High tackle, Mainwaring. Eagles are coming back at the Crows. From inside the centre square. Good mark across the front, McDermott. He's taken 5 or 6 beauties tonight. Wide, looking for Hart, or not a good kick. Makes him stretch, and he's got Kemp to beat, one of the best players in the game. Kemp hanging on. McGuinness, a little fumble. Free kick coming back. Is it coming back to Hart against Kemp? It is at centre wing. Matera now off Kemp. Off Hart, I should say. Playing across half back on Rashudo. Kick to centre half forward. Rashudo at the front, but not a great kick by Hart. Banfield gave it away rather casually to David Hart. Free kick to David Brown. A bit lucky. Ingerson given the advantage. Goes out towards Kluzek. Kluzek sets himself. Modric at the back. Sure hands needed. Pesh to Modric. Can he kick his third? Touched off the boot. Is it round the body? Out of bounds. It was touched. And in the end, that was a good thing for the Crows because it'll be a throw-in in the pocket. Just 4 kicks, couple of marks, 2 goals to Modra. Wouldn't they love him to stand on someone's shoulders and take a big one and go back and kick a goal in the last quarter? Wren, been magnificent. Pesh breaks a tackle, goes back, gives it to Rashido's kick 2. Left foot round the body, off the ground. Kluzek tried something remarkable. Romario would have been proud of that. And it'll be a throw-in in the pocket. 12-7-9-8. We're 11 and a half minutes remaining. So the Crows have been able to increase their lead by 1 goal and have eaten away some valuable time in the final term.
Wren and Turnbull, won by the latter, knocked on by Wilson. McIntosh pushes it across the line. So the West Coast Eagles now needing the next goal, and probably in the next 2.5 minutes or so. And then she will be a very big finish. Turnbull clean possession. Mainwaring couldn't control it. Going in solidly was Rashido. Pesh gets it across to McDermott, who heads for home. It's a good-looking effort. Was it across the line? Gee, that was close. The goal umpire says touched. 12-8 to 9-8. Waterman to bring it in. 11 and a quarter minutes remain. Stabs it into Wilson.
Sitting on the edge of your seat, Dennis, I am.
It's been a great game, hasn't it? Wilson, very short to Waterman. Who's got the lead? Waterman comes back to Wilson.
The Crows have matched up very well, one-on-one here. They're holding all the targets.
Wilson now goes for distance. Wren over the top, couldn't hang on. Lewis controls it pretty well. It ricochets off Pittman, goes down towards half-forward. Heady, close quarters to Kemp. Hot one for Matera. Bickley stood his ground, diving on top of it. Pittman, it spills out. McKinnon dives on top of it. In there is Jakovic for the Eagles. A whistle and a bounce.
10.5 minutes remaining. Wren in the front spot. McDermott, Wren. And also Wiedemann in there with Jakovic and Mainwaring. Crows lead by 18 points. They've won 2 out of their last 9. West Coast have won 9 out of their last 10. Top team against number 12. Says a lot for the AFL competition. McGuinness, good kick in the circumstances. Ricocheted off pipe from Bickley. Unlucky, stiff. Lewis running in, Crows 150, not coming. Bickley looking for something. Hugs the boundary line. Ingerson outnumbered. Can he come from the back? He does. Takes a good one. A beauty. Now, if they measure this attack, the Crows, and score a goal, you'd reckon it would be a match-winning lead. Modra on the end of it. Went early. Pesh, can he get a handball? Wilson runs into him. Pesh, does he keep the ball in? No, out of bounds on the fall. Crows deep in attack, though. Here's Ingerson's mark at the back. He's been all right tonight, Ingerson.
There's some very good signs for the Crows at the moment, and Ingerson is one of them. He can be the focal point through half forward. If he keeps presenting himself, he'll give his side every chance.
Ball goes in short. Jakovic comes on the lead. Just under 9.5 minutes in the game then. And the margin is 18 points. The Crows in front. Wren goes up. Couldn't hang on. McGuinness on the wing. Gets away. Gets to his feet. Well done. Wellman's got it. Forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Too much carry on the kick for Rashido. Gall, the big man, gets back. He needs support. Gets it across to that support. David Hart peels off. Kicks towards the outer side. Mainwaring has slipped away from McDermott. He's got the ball forward of half back. Chris McDermott, or rather Chris Mainwaring, goes in short and finds John Worsfold. He's on the wing, across the ground, hard again. Lewis wants it wider. It comes to Lewis. Now he can take it and go. Sumic offers the lead. Drifting across the face of Sumic was Lee. Tidied up by Jamison to Lee. Scrambles it out. It bounces out towards half-back and Brown. Wiedemann's on over the top. Wiedemann's got it. He can take it and go. Kicks towards half-forward. Pesh is there. Well played by Wilson. Knocks it back towards the wing. Went to ground. Pesh slaps it infield. Down goes McGuinness. McGuinness paddles it towards the line. Did he keep it in? Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
It's a
The
free
whistle's
kick back to
gone.
McGuinness.
He kicked it in, but he's getting it free. So the umpire compromises. The boundary umpire in perfect position.
Coming in for his 31st possession of the game. Tremendous effort.
3-goal margin to the Crows, 8 minutes remaining. It's tied, McGuinness. Up towards the 50, Wren. Pesh getting some kicks to full forward. Bouncing ball. Well played, McIntosh. Brilliantly played. Ball and McIntosh in the last minute have done some great things at the back under pressure. Pike got it at a rebound handball. McKenna on the lead. Tries to get away from Wellman. Good handball to Banfield. Modra providing the run. Here's Jakovic off. Great mark. Will he kick a goal on the run? He's 35 metres out. That's one of the plays of the year. Fantastic goal by Jakovic. Oh, brilliant. 10-8, 12-8.
Moved from the centre half-back position, spent time on the interchange bench, now into half-forward. The athleticism of a man this size is just incredible. The play, the burst down the wing, allowed him to run onto it, but then just to step around as naturally as you like and be able to slot it through. He's put them back with a chance.
Unbelievable by Jakovic, and the margin back to 12 points. Lewis, quick hands away to Kemp, controls it pretty well. Out of the middle come the Eagles, down towards half forward. Jakovic may have inspired himself, could have been paid the mark. It wasn't. McKenna gets it across to Kemp, 60 metres out, pulls it back. Evans is down there. One hand to the ball, sliding in was Hart, spills back, socket off the ground by Lee, out towards the 50. Bickley controls it, he's got some time now. Sweeping hand pass to Wiedemann. Wiedemann pumps it down towards half forward. In front Egerton, that's a very, very strong mark. Bounces to his feet, pulls it back, good vision, Pesh, unkind bounce, Rashudo back to goal, feeds Ingerson, Ingerson's shot, behind. The margin is 13 points.
It's as good as Bonanza on a Sunday night. This is Sunday night footy, isn't it?
Steady.
But rates as well, almost as exciting. Hart. Big finish here from centre half back. Jakovic. Pittman at the back, main wearing free kick, surely.
They're still in this.
Oh, they sure are. It's still an even money game. Turnbull. Hart goes. Heady. Well, he's a good finisher. He's a very good finisher. Got it. He's got it.
Nerves of steel.
3 to Heady. It's 7 points the margin, and West Coast have kicked the last 3 goals in this last quarter.
You certainly called that one correctly. Brett Heady being able to take the ball here, and in such a tight game, in an unfavourable environment, which Football Park is, he kept his head, he kept his cool, he knew exactly what he was doing, and slotted through an excellent goal.
Couldn't spoil that moment with words, could you?
Just over 6 minutes remaining in the game. The margin back to 7 points. This is very important stuff now in the context of the game. Pike goes to half forward. Hit Pittman in the face. Spiked by Lewis. He knocked it towards half forward. It spills out to McKenna. McKenna on the 50. Long kick. Off target. Behind. As we go inside the last 6 minutes of the game. We talked about the much vaunted half-back line for the West Coast Eagles. Well, 2 of them now on the half-forward line. McKenna and Jakovic. Jamison puts the ball back in play. Mainwaring eyes only for the ball. Comes back, recovers, chips inside the 50. Sumic. Well, the crowd want a free kick on the outer side. Bickley was going back with the flat of it. Mainwaring was looking back. Certainly there was contact. Sumic has got this one. It was fair enough. Sumic, a goal in every term, none more important than the one he's about to shoot at here. Peter Sumic. It's close. He's missed. Holds his head as the margin inside a goal now. Still plenty of time.
5 long minutes, Dennis. Jamison. He'll be careful here. Had to Pittman wide, decided to go for Wren. Well done by Turnbull. McKinnon to centre half forward. Rashudo worked underneath it. Brown couldn't quite up. Brilliantly done by Banfield. Hart runs away. West Coast are coming home. They're irresistible at the moment. Jakovic. Pittman. McGuinness on tired legs. Run down brilliantly by Matera. Ingerson, well done by Ball. Wilson breaks away from a tackle. Back to Ball. Maybe he shouldn't have gone to Wilson. Back to Hart. They're playing with confidence. Evans takes his time. Measures the kick to half forward. Heady is lurking there. McKinnon punches it away. Hart. Will he run it out? Will he go back to Lee? No, he goes inside. Good option. McDermott should run away. Important kick. He's got to use it effectively. High ball. Crows need a goal from this attack. Ingerson did well, actually, in the defensive mode. He want to run it out. It goes to Evans at centre wing. Lewis important in the final term. Under pressure, though.
Bruce, I don't like the full forward line set up here with Klug and Modra both well back on the full forward line. I think they need one out now to give Ingerson some assistance through half forward.
4 minutes remaining. Adelaide lead by 5 points.
Turnbull and Wren wrestle. It comes behind. Mainwaring couldn't control it. In there is Pike trying to knock it out. Crawling out after the ball is McGuinness. Claimed immediately by Turnbull. And a bounce on the wing. Down to 3:45. A nick over the eye for Sean Wren. Well, how's this? The Crows have got to win to stay in contention for a spot in the finals. Wiedemann to lip tack. McGuinness heads for the boundary line. And I'm sure just about, 5-10 minutes ago, they thought they were home. But they don't give away top spot on the ladder. And the Eagles have earned it. Turnbull over the top. McGuinness held without it. Will he get the free kick? Yes, he will. Tony McGuinness forward at the wing. Very important time, obviously. Chips it out wide. The old heads. McDermott's got this one about 75 metres from goal. I would imagine he'll head for the middle. They run the risk of opening it up for them. Now he goes to the pocket. Probably good policy. And the mark is held by Kruzek. The danger with going across is suddenly on the rebound, you can be cut wide open. Kruzek, been a star, 5 goals. It goes from 50. That is a telling kick. They contest about 5 metres out. Behind Ingerson, Rashudo missed it in midair. It's across the line from behind. 2:44 remaining.
Goal the difference. Is that an important point? Crows leading by 6. Waterman very short. They've done this in the last quarter repeatedly, West Coast. Played little ones to one another before they've set something up. Waterman stops, props. Oh, danger. No, finds Worsfold. Kluzek couldn't make it. They're very precise at the moment, West Coast. They realise they can't afford a turnover. A goal to the Crows and it would be all over, you would think. Centre wing, Wiedemann happy. He's been good. No question about that. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. I see 2 people in front of me leaving. Impossible. Nobody could do that in a situation like this. A traffic jam's got to be better than that. A bounce again. McGuinness, 26 and 7. McDermott, 19 and 11. 42,000 roaring. Wren and Turnbull. Turnbull over the back. Kemp. Pike the tackle okay. Kemp couldn't quite break it. Wiedemann. Lip tack. You can't make a mistake here. Don't give it away. Pressure. Oh, West Coast win the important ball. Pike. Chance for Hart. He's a great finisher. Hart. He might go all the way, kick a goal. He's 55 out. He goes long. It's right there. And Lee concedes it behind. Was in a position to mark.
He could have gone on to David Hart. He could have run another 15. Marvellous by Mainwaring in that pack to knock it out. Just the deftest of touches. Jamison, a minute and a half to go. Around the outer side, heads for the boundary. Stops the clock. 5 points the difference. 12-10, 11-11. Even money bet from here. The Eagles have been superb in this last term when confronted. Banfield out of the congestion. Jakovic over the top. Bounces off his chest. McKenna keeps it alive. Matera runs away. Matera looks goalward. Stabs goalward and he's missed. Behind. Hyde drama at Football Park as the Crows are fighting for their very survival. Lee will bring it in.
Graham Corns and Michael Malthouse earning their money here tonight.
Graham Corns aging by the moment. There's Lee, goes to the outer side. Good kick. Pittman's got free. Shouldn't have happened. Pittman's got the ball right half back. We're down to a minute. Pittman, high kick towards the wing. In front, Rashudo, knocked away by Worsfold, taken by Schwert. Schwert in all sorts of trouble, gets the hand pass off. Williams smothered by Kemp on McDermott. Back comes McGuinness, heads for the boundary line. Out of bounds and will be thrown in. Clock stops at 44. 12-10, 11-12.
Is this the final play? Adelaide by 4 points. Wren, Turnbull, Mainwaring gets a little kick. Hart, well played, goes to ground. McGuinness goes to ground. Seconds tick away. Nail-biting stuff. Adelaide lead by a kick.
Clock running.
Down to 25 seconds. West Coast will get one chance here. Wren and Turnbull. I'll tear the joint down if Adelaide hang on. McGuinness. This is a very important play to the boundary line. Kemp looks for a free kick. It's not there.
McGuinness's two best plays, both into the boundary line those last couple of seconds.
Surely the Crows are going to pull off a remarkable victory. Ross and Smart off the ground in the first half. They've won at the Crows.
Wow, this is incredible. Incredible.
The Crows have won.
That's tremendous.
Well, Terry, I've got goosebumps, and it's got nothing to do with having lived in Adelaide for 30 years. It's sport at its very best, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, the Crows going into the game had their backs to the wall. Within 2 minutes, they'd lost one of their key forwards in the planning, and then in the second quarter, lost Nigel Smart. But all of those boys have stood so tall today.
What a magnificent game by two teams that have given their 11-2 max.
McGuinness has been tremendous tonight. Sean Wren started it all, carried the side through the early part, then Rashudo picked it up with him, then McGuinness, and then the young boys started to come in, and McKinnon, Wellham, Boothing, they all started to add significant input into the game, the crucial stages, and they just grew and grew in strength and in confidence.
Well, has a season been saved here tonight? Certainly there's now hope. 5 days' time or 5 nights' time, Sydney, and the opportunity to get some sort of momentum up.
Well, it's been prolonged anyway, Bruce. Interesting, Sean Wren just 4 possessions after half-time, but hopefully his supporters and his teammates won't forget what happened in the first half, because if any one man set the tone for what was to come, it was Sean Wren. His teammates were falling down around him. They were coming off the ground injured, and Wren was the man who stood up when it was needed, and I think set what was to follow, as I say. A memorable victory for the Adelaide Crows when they had to win.
Rex Hunt's fabulous Footy Flashbacks. Your team's finest moments on video. Flashback to glory. Flashback to heroes. Flashback to the great history-making quarters and legendary highlights from Collingwood.
He's looking from the Kennedy field. Beautiful bit of football.
As Collingwood go forward towards Severio Rocker.
It's a chance though. Brerett's back on.
He wastes no time from 60 metres. It's a sensational goal.
Geelong.
Jarrett gives it back to Goggin. Here's some beautiful football. A lovely hand pass across to Yates. Yates shot passes into the goal square. Wooler will play on. A goal to the cap. And the best piece of footy of the day.
I think Dunkley's back on there. Oh, Ambler grabbing. Ambler! Oh, yes!
West Coast.
Eagles going forward. Oh, is that Gaston? Yes, it is. And what a great mark.
Captain goes short, mate, wearing on his own on centre wing. He's got plenty of time to assess the situation and wait that kick magnificently for Lewis.
Essendon.
Out of Terry Danaher. Oh, round the neck again. At least Buckley stopped him. This could be the dress rehearsal for the grand final of 1981 as Neil Danaher comes in for the kick that could possibly win the game. And he's put a toe in the feathers of him the front.
Adelaide.
Holds him up, robs him on, but cleverly. Still Alvin, again to the Wiedemann. Wiedemann short to Smart, to Jarman. They'll love this. Mitra comes in to the goal square. Jarman kicks it to him beautifully. Wonderfully. 11 goals to Mitra.
Melbourne.
Further forward.
Play on. Runs up towards centre-half forward. They're trying the short passes, the Demons. Chance for Spalding. At the back, Jackson. Off it goes to Williams. Over the top. Lovell punch for goal and puts it through.
Carlton.
Goes up towards Kernahan. Wonderful use of the body. Goes to Bradley. Then does the shepherding. Bradley's got pace and dash. He goes over the middle. Out towards Kernahan on the half volley. This could result in a goal to Angelo.
St Kilda.
Has found Kevin Roberts. Roberts drives it back towards the centre-half forward position. Rowland and Callan, and Rowland at the back.
Tony Lockett has 6 goals, 6. Daniels puts it up towards the goal square. Lockett close!
Rex Hunt's fabulous footy flashbacks.